Yo, what's good, my people? Welcome to Wally's Welding World. I'm the Weld Professor. If you didn't know, well, now you know. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, because when I'm dropping these videos, you're definitely going to want to be getting notified. Man, I wake up in the morning, and I tell you what, I do get motivated to come out here and to weld, to share my knowledge, to share my experience, because that's all it is, right? I'm just leading you guys on the journey that I set off to do, right? I'm not trying to make you follow my footsteps. I'm trying to make you make your own imprints. And so what I want to dive in today is these Weld-o-lets, these socket-lets, these Threadlets. That's right, these O-lets. That way, when you guys go out there in the field and you're reading the blueprint, you're familiar with some of the fittings, with some of the parts. All right, so let's go ahead and just dive right into it. One of the first things that you need to learn is the socket-let. A lot of you guys are familiar with the socket-let. What is a socket-let? A socket-let is something you're gonna put a pipe inside of and weld around it. Instead of putting a butt weld to it, it's a socket weld. You guys have welded probably many sockets, you know, they got a T where you put a pipe in one side, put a pipe in the other side, put a pipe in the bullhead, and you weld them all out like that, right? That's a socket weld. Well, this is a socket-let. Same concept. You put your pipe in there, you weld it around, make sure it's level to your face of this. That way you can present this onto the pipe and have your pipe sticking out. Now, there's different ways to really tackle these things. Some people want a Weld-o-let, some people want a socket-let, some people want a Thread-o-let. It's all the customer's personal preference. So, with a socket-let, that's what it is. A lot of the times what they put in these socket-lets is an expansion ring. And what an expansion ring does is it allows it not to be tight inside of there. They say that sometimes when you shove the pipe tight inside of there and you don't give it any wiggle room, through time, vibration will cause that weld to crack. I don't know for sure if it happens, but they say it does. So, if you don't have an expansion ring, put that piece in there a little bit crooked, tack it, and then straighten it out. That'll give you a gap underneath your socket-let to help prevent cracking in the future. All right, we crushed that, right? Socket-lets. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into Thread-o-let. What is a Thread-o-let? Same concept behind a socket-let, but instead it's a Thread-o-let. You thread into it. You're still gonna weld it to the pipe, but in this case, you don't put anything into it until it's threaded. So a very important thing, make sure this is level this way and square to the pipe. Because when you go to thread your stuff in there, you don't want it looking all crooked unless it's supposed to be. And most of the time, it isn't supposed to be crooked, all right? So that's a socket-let. I mean, that's a Thread-o-let. I also have another Thread-o-let right here, a nice, huge, big Thread-o-let. And so that way you guys are kind of familiar with these, you know. This is a bigger Thread-o-let. Of course, this is like a 4-inch Thread-o-let that'll go like on an 8-inch pipe, you know. And this one right here, this could probably go on multiple pipes. It'll tell you on the top pretty much what pipe capabilities it's able to go to. It says 36 times 3 times 1, or actually it says 36-3, which means it'll go anywhere on a 36-inch pipe down to a 3-inch pipe. And then the 1 just tells you that's what size the threads are. All right, that's Thread-o-lets. All right, and I'll go ahead and put them over here on the screen somewhere as I'm talking about that. That way you don't forget if it's a Weld-o-let, a Thread-o-let, or socket-let. Now, I got a bunch of different kinds of Weld-o-lets right here that I kind of want to dive into, and I want to kind of showcase to you guys and show you and teach you about. All right, and we'll go ahead and start with the most common one, and that's a 2-inch, right? 2-inch Weld-o-let. What does that mean? That means you weld it on both sides. You butt weld one side, and you pretty much flat surface, which is kind of like a branch weld, to the pipe. And again, they're gonna show you on these all the time what size pipe they can go to, 36 to 8 times 2. That means from 36-inch pipe all the way down to 8-inch pipe, this 2-inch Weld-o-let can go to. Now, a lot of these are gonna be similar. The thing that it's gonna tell you the difference on here is the pound rating, okay? It's either gonna be a 3M or a 4M, a standard or an extra heavy. Now, all these are different type of Weld-o-lets. You know, an extra heavy is gonna be extra heavy. It's gonna be big. That's still a 2-inch, guys. You see the difference there? Now, this 2-inch right here, this extra heavy, it can go on a pretty big piece of pipe, you know? But here's the thing about these things. You wanna make sure that once you put your bead in, that you fill it all the way up to this, and then you need to spread your weld at least 3 passes above this, maybe 4, depending on whatever the criteria or the procedure or even the inspector wants. So make sure that you're following the procedure and you're doing whatever the inspector wants, because those are the people that are replying to the upper managements to get you paid. Don't want to be doing anything that's not going to get you paid. All right, that's pretty much it. I don't really want to dive deep into these, but we're going to be welding these up, so I want you to have a good understanding of what the Weldolet is, what the Weldolet is, and what the Threadlet is. So that way, when I say put the Threadlet on, put the Weldolet on, put the Weldolet on, you know what I'm talking about. Guys, I don't really have all this bull crap to feed you. I'm really just going to kind of lead you on my path and showed you what I did, so that way you guys can have an insight and idea, because I'm not wanting you to follow in my footsteps. I want you to make your own imprints. Go out in the world and stomp ground, guys. I had to go and do it for a long time, go out there and stomp ground to make a name for myself. I'm still stomping ground to make a name for myself. Things don't come overnight. If you want something, you're gonna have to work hard for it. Like they say, the proof is in the pudding. Hard work pays, bullshit fucking does not play. Okay, enough with all the BS. I hope you guys are tuning in, paying attention. That's all it really is. I got a ton of work I'm gonna be kicking out and showcasing. I really want you guys to be a part of it. Here's the thing though, I'm doing it all by myself. I build it by myself, I record it by myself, I edit it by myself, and then I upload it by myself. I'm a one-man show, baby. But here's the thing, I got a lot of work coming, flowing in, and when I start hiring, better believe I'm gonna be looking for some of the best talent. I can't really be bringing anybody in and teaching them at this point right now until we get the school up and running. And then I can bring you in, teach you, and show you how to carry on. But in the meantime, man, it's all about getting paid. All right, I love you guys. I hope you're having a great day. I just love you guys. I do. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please share the video with your friends, like the video, and comment, man. That's the one way that I'm able to, you know, get the word out there about me. All right, I think I'll go home now. Now I will.